Hi, hello, welcome back to another week and another video. If you're new here, welcome. My name's Alexi, and on my channel, I like to teach you how to live a happier and healthier lifestyle, primarily through health and wellness and fitness. Today, I'm gonna take you through a warm-up upper body mobility kind of ordeal. These are like my go-to, my top movements that I always do, no matter what, that I'm always practicing getting good at. It's important to find the moves that you find the most value out of, and you'll kind of learn that as you go throughout them. As always, remember that everything is very individualized and specific to you, the individual. If you have any questions about anything, leave it in the comments down below and I'll be sure to respond to those. It's very easy to just go through the motions, and that's probably where you won't see the real benefit, versus if you went into all of this with the intention to like practice and get really good at it, and just shifting the intention to becoming more body aware and feeling what's going on and asking yourself these questions. That's where you're gonna see the benefit in a lot of these movements. So first, you're gonna see me with a resistance band. This is something I call a super band pass through. This is just a great movement to mobilize the shoulder joint, give the shoulders and the chest a nice little stretcheroo. I get my biceps sometimes too. I'll feel it even in my wrist. This is something that I'll typically start with or just always include in my warm-up because it just really mobilizes my shoulders and my upper body. The point here is trying to keep the arms really nice and straight. You'll see I'm kind of like locked out at the elbow, so no bend in the elbow. If it felt too challenging, maybe pick a lighter resistance band, or your grip plays a huge role. So closer grip is going to be more challenging, wider grip is going to make it a little bit easier. So you can always modify your hands. You can do this with a PVC pipe or like a broom if you're at home. Also making sure that my pelvis is tucked forward, so I'm not sticking my butt out and like significantly arching my back and puffing my chest out. I'm trying to make sure that I'm nice and tucked and in line. So that's another thing I'm always making sure to do. And sometimes I'll kind of rotate side to side as well. So I kind of bring it all the way around and just work on mobilizing my shoulder joint. Remember, you don't want to be working in any kind of pain, but you want to feel a stretch. Just push to that threshold that is tolerable, and then you can kind of back off. The nice thing also about the resistance band is when you get to that challenging point, which is usually like right about here, you can start to pull the band apart, so it makes it a little bit easier to get through that sticking point. Sometimes that's why I like the resistance band. Play around with it, have some fun. Just remember to keep your arms nice and locked out, and you don't want to let the shoulders raise, so you always want to make sure to keep the shoulder blades nice and down. For the upper body, I also like to do child's pose. This day I chose to do child's pose on the bench. You can also do this on the floor. You can do it on the TRX. You can do it off of your couch, your bed, your coffee table. The modifications are endless. In my child's pose, you'll see me kind of rocking side to side. My palms are facing down here. You'll see I'll also rotate my palms up. But in both positions, I'm kind of rocking side to side. Again, making sure to keep the elbows in that locked out position nice and straight. I don't want to bend or break at the elbows. And I'm just leaning into one side over the other, just checking in. Is one shoulder or one lat tighter than the other side? Do I have less or more mobility over one side or the other? And you can see I kind of take a little bit more time really leaning into the right side, and that's because the right side was feeling tighter. You'll see I'll flip my palms back over on the bench, and I'll start to just work on engaging the shoulder blade a little bit more. So I'm thinking about keeping the shoulder blade really tight and not letting that shoulder rise up to the ear, and just trying to pick my hand up off of the bench. Again, you can do this on the floor. So I'm really squeezing the shoulder blade as hard as I can, picking the arm up. You can even hold at the top for an extra second or two to really challenge yourself, and then letting that arm kind of release back down, but restricting the urge to just drop my hand on the table, because it'd be very easy to pick up, drop down. I pick up and drop down. So I'm really just working on engaging the shoulder blades and having overall control and stability over my shoulder blades when I'm practicing this, just to kind of prep and prime me before I go into my movement that day. One of my other favorite ones is called a 90-90. If you don't know this one, you should know this one. Please learn this one and practice it. You're gonna get down onto the floor in a 90-90 degree kind of angle at the knees. If you can't get to a 90-90 degree angle because you're too tight, that's also okay. You can just pull the feet or the heel closer into your body, so you're kind of lessening that angle at the knee, and that would make it a little bit easier if you need to modify the movement. You can see too, I'm slightly leaning forward into the front leg, slightly leaning back into the back leg, so I'm gonna get a little bit of a stretch in the front leg versus the back leg that way, or the front hip versus the back hip. And then you can see I'm practicing picking up my feet off of the floor and picking my leg up off of the floor. First, you're working on getting comfortable just sitting in this position, not having to rest your arm on the floor, because a lot of times you'll have to rest the arm on the floor just to support yourself. You want to be really nice and upright, squared with your hips. So my hips shouldn't be facing this way and my shoulders facing this way. You always want your hips and your shoulders to be squared and in line with one another. You also want to make sure that you're able just to maintain that position in the 90-90. Then you're working on just picking the foot up off the floor, picking the foot up off the floor. And then once you get really good at that, then you're gonna try to pick the foot up off of the floor, the whole leg, extend the leg out in either direction, and then bring the leg back into the starting point. This is one that I highly recommend getting good at. If you get good at this, you'll see a very big difference in your hip mobility, your hip flexibility, your connection to your body and your hips. If you are an active person or like a weight trainer or strength trainer and you don't do this, do it. I promise it will change your life. So 90-90 is one of my favorites. Okay, and then lastly is a squat stretch. This is another one that I think everybody should get really good at. This is a great one that you can do anywhere at any time. I always say it's my go-to airport stretch now because it hits the hips, and then you'll see I add a rotation in. So I'm working on opening the hand up as much as I can and really pulling back, and I'm working on just trying to get very vertical with the floor. I'm getting my arms vertical with the floor, and I'm looking at my hand and reaching, and just also working on stretching my neck, opening up my chest and my mid-back because I get a lot of mid-back tightness. This is one of my absolute favorite go-tos. You can do this anywhere and you're hitting your whole body. If you weren't able to get into the position like I'm showing in the video, you can hold on to something in front and kind of work your way down. Like if you have a rig system, you would be able to kind of grip and hold on and pull yourself down. So, or you just don't go as low. Try and hold a squat as low as you can and work on just pushing the knees out and driving the knees out. And you can see I'll rock side to side, kind of driving the knee forward to hit my calves a little bit. See if you can stand up straight and straighten out the legs into a hamstring stretch as well. This is another great kind of go-to move to just get good at, but if you're looking for something to, you know, do it all in one move before your workout, if you had to pick one, I would probably say that squat stretch with the trunk rotation and the hamstring stretch is like a good go-to. But these are all good go-tos. If you're looking to improve your overall mobility and flexibility, I think this would be a great routine to incorporate. It can also kind of serve as a warm-up before you start whatever you're doing. This is not an end-all be-all. This is just an example as to what it can look like for you. These are just some of my go-to always using moves that help mobilize me and prep and prime me for my movement and just get me ready to go. So give these a try. Let me know what you think. Next week I will be posting the workout that I did after this little quick warm up. So if you want to see kind of what my workout is looking like right now, then you can check out next week's video to see the workout. That's pretty much it. I'm not going to ramble too long. I just want to show you a quick warm-up routine or mobility that you can do at home. You don't need any equipment other than the Super Band, but like I said, you can use a broom. If you want to see more movement-based videos, don't forget to smash the thumbs up button. Let me know in the comments down below, and until next week, I'll see you in the same spot because next week's video is being filmed right now, but I'll see you in the workout. Okay, bye.
You stole my heart of gold.